Hello and welcome to Module 7, Applied Ethics in Healthcare. When it comes to ethical issues, how do I lead with my heart? Well, we're all leaders. We all bring our own unique ability to participate in leading a team through our own unique personalities, skill set, experiences, or even the fresh perspective we might bring as new practitioners. But when it comes to ethics in the workplace, why does the team need to hear my voice and benefit from my leadership with ethical decision making? Isn't it enough to just act ethically? The problem is that many of the situations that we encounter that cause ethical distress are not one-offs. They are systematic issues that need to be addressed so that we can stop running into the same issues over and over again without the tools to manage them. The question that we need to ask ourselves is, what role can I take to stop the cycle of distressing ethical issues that occur? Ethical issues are going to continue to occur, and moral distress is going to happen. How can my own ethical leadership help mitigate the impact of that moral distress on my ability to carry out a caring practice with my patients or clients? The steps of ethical decision-making remain the same when I'm working within my organization, but with consideration of the organization's values, missions, and needs as well. So this week we're looking at the course objectives 2 and 3. Once again, that's kind of where we've been hanging out once we got those principles and foundational theories kind of down. So now we're looking at applying them to case-based ethical issues, but this time around we're looking at it from more of that organizational approach. So we're going to look at strategies to develop and foster an ethical culture within our own healthcare organizations. We're going to look at employing techniques for promoting ethical behavior, boundary setting, which is super important, and decision making in organizations. And then we're going to evaluate how effective we might be in an ethical decision based on an ethical decision-making framework in an organizational setting. Our first article that we're looking at is by Hurtalendi et al., and it's a scoping review of how leaders can, should, and do mitigate moral distress in healthcare organizations. And they talk about creating an organizational culture of being moral and ethical. They also say it's really important to support the leaders as they support the workers. So having a moral champion within the organization is super important. They also said we need to support moral agency. And remember how we talked about how important it is to have the team making ethical decisions? This article also talks about team-based care and professional standards for that. They emphasize, as interventions, having that team-based care, having shared decision-making, improving communication among the team, and providing emotional support, such as things like debriefing, which can be done in ethics rounds, ethics and multidisciplinary team rounds. They say individual interventions, such as mindfulness, only help marginally. So why is that? Why is it only that it helps only a little bit if we're focusing like individually on distress? Why do we need to change the culture in order to improve or mitigate the moral distress that we might be experiencing? Nelson, Taylor, and Walsh provide us a narrative case study of an ethics culture in an organization. They look at this hypothetical case and they carry it through the first 2 steps in the process of building an ethical organizational culture. Our learning activity is going to take it a few steps further and let us consider that even a little bit more in building that ethical workplace culture. We're going to wrap up our module by considering how working together to build an ethical work culture is different from managing ethical issues individually. We're also going to consider the question, how have you changed or grown as a result of participating in this course? Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I've really enjoyed it. I wish you all the best as you can continue to pursue ethical practice and use your professional skills and abilities to care for others.